Okay. This so far. Okay. This right here. This so far. Ain't no lie. This so far. This right here. This so far. Ain't no lie. Okay, yeah, this so far. Ain't got time for the smoke. Set it on fire. Young king on the rise. Do it for the family.
I think this is right.
You can see the hunger in my eyes.
There we go. That's even better. Just do the thumbs down for this bullshit ass game today as the Yankees lose.
Under my umbrella. Hey.
The New York Yankees dropped this game today 5-3, but it didn't have to be that way. I think the Yankees could have certainly pulled out a victory today, but a lot of dumbass bullshit, stupid ass moves by the Yankees caused them to lose this game and not yet clinch. So it'll be up to Nestor Cortez tomorrow.
I mean, tonight it had every single reason we need to still be somewhat concerned in the playoffs.
Yep.
We had a little bit of everything. Everything was feeling good going into the game. Everyone's happy. Everyone's excited. We're going to clinch the division tonight. Everything looks good. First thing that happens, lineup comes out. Verdugo starting. Dominguez is sitting.
Yep.
What do you mean?
Yep.
What do you mean Dominguez isn't playing? What do you mean Verdugo's starting? What's going on? So that's the first part. Second part, game starts. Things are going, whatever. Clark, not so great. Offense. Where's the offense? Offense was flat. Offense came out sluggish. Offense came out lethargic. That tends to happen sometimes. We don't know why. It just happens. So Glaber, base running mistake. Meza and Leiter coming into pitch in the closed game. Hamilton hanging a home run that got hit 900 feet. The offense, sluggish, like I said. I mean, these are all elements of things that the Yankees tend to do over and over and over again that scares us constantly. And when you get into the playoffs, these are things that are probably going to happen again.
Yep.
And it's concerning. And you sit here on a day that had the stadium so packed, had everyone so excited, had everyone anticipating a celebration, good vibes, good feels. And this team finds a way to slam your dick in the dirt, get your hopes down, get you concerned, and get you back into a place where you're like, damn, I don't know if we can win the World Series now. Holy shit, if this team shows up in the playoffs, what the hell? We're going to get bounced in the LDS.
Slam your dick in the dirt sounds terrible, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
that sounds really, really horrible.
So
there was
dirty,
one other
filthy.
there was one other thing in there too that was ripping my hair out my head. Alex Verdugo comes up with first and second, nobody out, and they let him swing away instead of just bunting. You bunt him there, just move the friggin' runner over. Sack fly, and look at that. The game is tied. You're home. You're in a better position. They're just a stupid-ass team. I mean, I got to be on. And I know we're going to talk about this on Monday on the Nights at the Round Table, but you're right about what you said. We saw so much today on why you still just can't have overconfidence in this club in the postseason. Like, I put a tweet out today, and I think we all feel this way, is that this is the best chance the Yankees have to make it to a World Series in ages. In ages, they feel like on paper, you look at them and you go, this is one of the best teams in the American League, if not the best team in the American League by far. Then you see this shit like today and you go, this could very well happen in the postseason. Like, and that is the biggest concern with this team, is that all this shit could happen in the postseason. I don't know what was on Glaber's mind. I have no idea what he was trying to do. You could see Luis Rojas put his hands up like, stop. All you do at that moment is sit the fuck on third base.
Yeah,
for some reason, you could see Luis Rojas is never waving him, and he's there like that the whole time. And the dude sees the throw to second and just tries to jet home. Stupidest friggin' thing that I've seen in a long time. But again, this is something that Glaber has done often. It's the 7th time, I believe, he's been thrown out at home this year, which is the most in baseball besides for my good friend Yandy Diaz. But Yandy has there's a reason. The guy's built like a tank.
Yeah,
he thinks I'm quicker than I am. He got gigantic biceps that slow him down. What are you going to do?
Muscle's pretty heavy to move, so I don't blame him there. But this is a common theme, though. It's not just Glaber. We've seen guys constantly getting thrown out in the bases, bad sends, bad pickles. Hey, yo,
Hey, yo.
throw throws coming in, getting cut off, and then runners hung out to dry in between the base paths. Like this is a constant theme. Bad sends from Rojas. This happens often. It happens a lot from Glaber, and it happens a lot from his team, and it's an overall fundamental flaw, one of many fundamental flaws by this coaching staff and their lack of situational knowledge and situational baseball and having these guys prepared for these moments.
Yep.
Glaber, like you said, Glaber should not be moving off the bag. What are you doing?
You just sit there. Aaron Judge is on deck.
The throw
Aaron
goes to
Judge-
second.
And somebody even
Soto's
said, well,
safe.
somebody was like, well, you know they're going to walk him. Who gives a shit? You still don't move. That means there's bases loaded for Wells. Who gives a shit?
Right. I mean,
Like it makes you okay, let him get walked, but Aaron Judge was indeed up. Like you sit there and you don't move. This is not a like it's not some high baseball IQ move. It's common sense. You don't get off the bag. Your team is making a comeback that is a major hit for Soto, who, by the way, I don't give a poot what anybody says. There's one guy I want up in a big moment of the postseason, and it's Juan Soto. There's nobody else.
1000%.
His couple of at-bats today look like ass. I'm like, man, you could tell his timing is off. He's out in front of pitches he normally waits on, rolling them over to first base. And then he just comes up at a big moment. It's like, all right, I got to make my adjustments on the fly, and boom, base hit the right center field. Yeah. And it's just who he is, and he would have been safe at second base. The throw was high. They never would have been able to get the tag to the back of the bag.
Right.
I don't know what the hell Gleyber Torres is thinking in that moment. Let me try to steal a run. Aaron Judge is up. You're coming back. You got the team against the ropes, and he just says, "Let me hand it right back to you." It's fucking stupid.
And
Stupid.
Soto is a guy who's playoff proven from a very young age. He hit Garrett Cole using Spider Tack and Verlander when they were on the Astros. He crushed them and won a world championship. So getting into the late in the season, getting into the World Series situation, getting into the playoffs, ALDS, ALCS, I'm not worried about Juan Soto one bit at all.
Facts.
He could have 3 awful at bats and then hit a 3-run home run to tie the game or go ahead. So not worried about him one bit. But the lack of fundamentals, the manager putting players in the game that don't need to be starting, like Alex Verdugo. I mean, putting
I don't
in
know how long this is going to keep going.
Why did Meza and Leiter come in a close game? It felt like an automatic punt. Like you could have.
That's exactly what it was.
It just there's just so many frustrating parts about this game tonight, and it was supposed to be a happy, fun, exciting game, and it was more frustration and more scratching your head. Tomorrow we're probably gonna get Verdugo starting again. Dominguez will be handing out cookies and warm milky during the 7th inning stretch. Boone will have his dress on like he usually does, and we'll see some crazy fiasco and lose another game to the Orioles. So that's kind of the vibes right now. Obviously, yep. I mean, Nestor's been pitching well, so he's going to give us a good chance tomorrow. Need the offense to come out hitting early and often. Need to see more competence on the base paths. That's awful. That's a terrible decision. But why does Volpe get pinch hit for when Verdugo was right behind it? Like
no fucking clue. You know what that is? It reminds me more of the let me take care of their feelings. That's just what it reminds me of. It's more of the let me like what did Verdugo do in this game that made you say I like the chances with him coming up?
His
infield single? Was that the difference? The infield single was a difference maker?
He slammed Volpe's dick in the dirt with that pinch hit. I mean, they showed Volpe sitting in the dugout pissed off. I mean, I know he was just hot in Oakland, so maybe he's got a little bit more of a chance, but he didn't have some good bats today. So it was just kind of weird seeing Dominguez there rather than, I don't know. Dominguez should have been starting the whole game. What are we doing with Verdugo hitting? I mean, he hits the first at bat, there's nobody on base, and he tries to push bunt down the line. It goes foul. Like, what? Why are you bunting? You put Dominguez on the bench to have Verdugo go up there and bunt in his first at bat. That's what we're doing. Second at bat, runners on, he chops into a double play when he should have bunted probably in that at bat. So it's like things are backwards. There's no clear plan. Like, what are we doing here? Like, there's just and Boone will go after the game and back up his guy, blah blah blah. But I'm very proud of the Yankees faithful that were at the stadium and booed the living shit out of Verdugo after that double play.
I heard they were saying that in the chat that they ripped him to pieces.
Boo him loud, boo him proud, and make that manager know that we are pissed off and we don't approve of that shit because Dominguez should be in there starting over him,
Of course.
point blank for no. I don't care about the defense he played. You heard Cone and Paul O'Neill talking about the high sun. It was a tough to play in a couple of games where Dominguez made those mistakes in the outfield. He offers more at the plate. He's a more dynamic offensive player than Verdugo.
Way more.
And he needs to be getting used to the dimensions in left field at Yankee Stadium.
Exactly.
If he's going to be playing key playoff games there. We don't know if he's even going to make the playoff roster with how dumb these people are that run this organization.
I'll tell you right now, he doesn't make the playoff roster, this team's not going nowhere. And I know this part. People, what about it? No. You got, for the postseason, you put your best players in there. If they prioritize a guy like Verdugo over Dominguez, don't think the rest of those guys in that clubhouse don't know that.
Right.
That's a fuck you to everybody in that clubhouse. I'm sorry.
And
got a couple of super chats real quick to get to. Gregory Gray says, wanted to say if Torres doesn't run us out of the inning, they walk Judge intentionally. Juan Soto gets one more at bat, took the bat out of our best player's hands. It changed the game a lot. Gerson says, hoping the best lineup goes out in the playoffs. You know, you can hold your breath on that one. We don't know with this team. And I think we had one more. Beast Mode says Glaber sucks. That's a hell of a super chat. John Scardino says, always in the eyes, boys. Glaber is a dolt. Adult. Okay? Little dolt action going on here, but
I mean, high schoolers don't make those mistakes on the bases. We constantly see this from his team over and over and over.
Clear as day, man.
We would have been running as a group in high school for hours if we made a dumbass play like that in a big game. Are you kidding me? And Glaber's going to get a pat in the ass and be like, it's okay, buddy. You're good, blah, blah, blah. And all his buddies are going to be in there.
Your fucking ass is glued on third base in that moment. You sit there, you don't move. Anybody knows this. To the point, look, I'm not sticking up for Luis Rojas. He's had some horrible calls this year. Even Luis Rojas is looking at him when he's running back and forth like, are you fucking dumb?
Garrett Cole was hanging over the fence.
Yes.
Spraying upside down.
Is all you needed to see.
Like,
his reaction is all you needed to see.
And Stroman's basically a non-factor on this team now, but earlier in the season, he went storming through that dugout and he was pissed off about Glaber playing defense or whatever he was pissed off about.
Yep.
And you can bet he's not the only one in that dugout that gets frustrated with him. These guys know. These guys aren't stupid. These guys play baseball their whole lives. They know how the game is played at the highest level. They're not stupid. So pulling the cover over these guys' eyes and spitting on them and telling them it's raining when shit like this happens is not gonna fly for too long. If it ends up costing this team a chance at winning a World Series, it's not going to go over well in the clubhouse. And Boone's going to need to be held accountable along with the front office that continues to not get these guys prepared for these situations. And it's just hard to watch the same BS happen on a nightly basis over and over and over again over the course of 162. At what point do things get fixed? When is it going to happen?
I've just never seen a team that could get you so high and then so low in the span of 2 games. It's really but they do it all year. It's like you get a high from, you go, yeah, I feel good, and then they go, hold on a second, let me remind you of something. Wait, and then you're sitting there going, this shit's gonna happen in the postseason, isn't it? I know it is. It's gonna happen.
Absolutely, because the postseason is a pressure cooker. If these guys are falling on their face in close games at the end of the regular season with an AL East on the line, what's going to happen when there's a ALDS on the line or ALCS on the line, or
that's right,
or if they get into the World Series? That's a real pressure cooker. You talk about having to think on your feet, have great instincts, have to be prepared for the moments. Every little thing counts in the playoffs. Every single base runner, every single out, every pitch, every strike. So these guys are going to have to get more locked in. Today was a lot of bad stuff, a lot of bad vibes after this game, and sure, they're going to win the division. Sure, they're going to be getting the first round bye. But the offense came out lethargic today off of an off day. What happens when they get a week off?
A week, yeah, you're right.
A week.
You're right.
So how many games is it going to take? How many times through the order is it going to take for these guys to get back in an offensive rhythm after that bye? I'm concerned about it, honestly. I mean, 100%. Sure, there's good names up and down the order, but it's hard to sit out for that long, even when you're doing sim games at practice and pitching to each other and doing all that stuff. It's not the same as the playoffs facing other teams. So they're going to have to find a way to stay in a rhythm during that first round bye. And the lethargic offense that we saw to start this game is going to have to figure it out tomorrow, the next day, and have one more series against the Pirates before the games really get important to figure this out. So we'll see if they can do it.
And I have a lot of concerns. Like I said, I do want to wait to address those on Mondays nights at the round table. I've been telling everybody about it. Mark your calendars. We don't have the time yet. We'll get that figured out this week. But mark your calendars, guys. The Yankees are not playing. The regular season is over. It'll be, dead focus for postseason. That's what that show is going to be all about. But I do have a lot of concerns to address on there. And I also got a challenge to the New York Yankees on that show. So it's going to be a can't miss nights at the round table, put it that way. And let's go ahead and get to our champ of the chat and then our voicemails. JC!
Crown this man.
My guy JC today, they had a who could get NYU the most members today. We got 28 new members today. I think JC won like 10 to, what was it? I forgot. Steels had it. I forgot what the overall number was, but JC did win. Joe, you were runner-up. Appreciate you, brother.
Big time.
Appreciate you guys for doing that anyway. And let's go ahead and get right into your guys' voicemail, starting off with the one and only Macho King.
Hey, Pete Macho King in the house. How you doing? Put it on the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell they're thinking, but they must have brain damage if they're not putting the Martian in there. ASAP, you should be playing every game. And we're done watching Verdugo make outs all over the place, left and right tickets. And Steen is in a slump and Wills is in a slump. You got to bring up the kid. What's the point of bringing him up if you're going to play him? Yeah. And then let me throw something in about
the highs and lows.
He was guarding the baby off for P. Diddy probably. In my estimation, he's a chump. He's gambling and they're covering up for him. And let me tell you something else. You can't snip Aaron Judge's jockstrap. And that's just the way it is because I said so. And I'm dropping an elbow on him in the low-life Dodgers for good. Well, anyway, if we don't win today, we got to win tomorrow. Let's go, Yankees. Let's go NYU and UW for life. Oh, yeah. Macho!
Love him, man. I fucking love him, man.
Undefeated.
Come on, man. You don't get better than Mach, all right? You just don't get better than Mach, okay?
Is there a better impersonator of another human in the world right now than Macho? Macho? I mean, it sounds like the guy's actually calling in. It sounds identical.
I'm telling you, man, his macho is. There's some people that do macho that's really bad. Like it's not one of those easy ones to do. But our Macho King has it on lock. He has it on lock. I love it. I absolutely love it.
He understands the assignment.
Facts, no doubt about it.
He takes care of it every time.
No doubt about it. Oh, Uncle Dom, here's another good one.
Oh, here we go. We got Murderers Row right off the bat.
Johnny, Fam, Uncle Dom here. One thing we learned about tonight, Pete, that as much as things change, they remain the same. Yes, Glaber still has the IQ of a fucking newt in heat, okay? And Greg Rooney's cupcakes. Who winds up pinch hitting Dominguez anyway? Doesn't pinch hit him for Verdugo, pinch hits him for Volpe. All right, whatever. Shows that he's still a schmuck.
It was really weird.
Still wants those
that
Steve
makes no sense.
French stuck up his ass. If he pulls that in the postseason, we're done. And you can't. These are all postseason games. So let's have a little bit of
the audition.
Intellect somewhere. Wake the fuck up. Tighten the ship. Let's get the fucking win tomorrow, baby. Let's get it tomorrow.
Handle it.
Night all.
Let's do it.
Can't stand this man.
I feel you. I hate Uncle Dom voicemails when he's sad, man, after a loss. It sucks to hear, man.
I mean, you got to feel for him because we're all on the same boat. We're all pissed off. Today was supposed to be a happy.
It was.
Eventful.
Bro, I was so pumped for this game. I was pumped coming out of the gates for this game.
You know, the clubhouse.
Everybody in the chat would tell you, man.
Clubhouse was full of plastic to celebrate, the champagne everywhere, and the team just comes out and lays a fucking egg. You can thank their fearless leader, Elf Boy Boone, for setting the tone by starting Verdugo today and not playing Dominguez. Sorry.
Does Boone also does he also fit into the bag of milk? Is he also a bag of milk or no?
He serves the warm milky. He's not.
That's right. He serves the milk, so he doesn't need
like
to be
a bag of milk. He's just
right.
Looks like a Keebler elf. and
Okay.
an angry mean one, like one of the ones that lives under the bridge, kind of elf.
Yes, he's one
Or
of
is
those
that a
mean,
troll?
those mean
I don't know.
fuckers.
Either
Troll,
way,
more like a troll, I think. I
either
think
way,
more
he's
troll under the bridge is Aaron Boone type
yeah,
thing.
he's that. So
Yeah,
it's
real sick
unfortunate,
fuck.
but Bag of Milk is on the mound tomorrow to hopefully. For those of you who don't know, understand the Bag of Milk reference. Nestor had an awful start one day, and on Twitter, I tweeted, I said Nestor's built like a bag of milk. Maybe I was a little too mean. Maybe I was a little pissed off and feeling,
I
some
just think
type
it's
of way.
better. I think for lighter, it's perfect. He's
It is
really
what it
built like
is,
a bag of
man.
milk.
Yeah, he really is. He's built like a bag of wet oatmeal. That's more what lighter Junior looks like. But I maybe I'm too mean sometimes. Or maybe I am. But Nestor's been fantastic since they threw him in the bullpen and hurt his feelings. So I mean, maybe sometimes being mean and being a dick is
It
gets
works.
these guys in
I wish Boone was a little
in
bit.
shape. So I mean, it is what it is.
I wish Boone was a little bit, but let's go ahead and get into the next voicemail here.
Only if you're an umpire.
Facts.
Boone's an absolute idiot. Gleyber Torres is an idiot. I don't care if he's hitting better. You absolutely cannot bring that low IQ idiot back in this team.
Nah, Glaber's done. He ain't
that's
coming
the
back.
kind of stuff that kills you in the postseason, and then you're done. Now, real quick on the Dominguez and Verdugo stuff. So you're telling me that Dominguez isn't
Verdugo's
good
great.
enough to come in and start the whole game and play, but you're going to put him in the game cold and expect something out of him. That makes no sense.
Yeah. Against a guy throwing 98 mile an
You're
hour,
using him for Volpe,
bat breaking,
not Verdugo
stealing
dog
sinker
crap.
balls.
He's the one that needs to be pitch hit. Flipping ridiculous. I'm so tired of Boone and Cashman and Fishman and whoever else men that's on this front office. Get them all out of there. This is garbage.
Yeah, it's let me tell you something. The trifecta of this organization that is gonna kill them. And again, pray to God they win the World Series this year. I never want to see the Yankees lose the World Series. I want them to win. I want to be wrong. That's the main thing that I always want to be wrong about is if I have a prediction that is against the Yankees, so to say, I want to be wrong about it because I want them to win.
Yeah.
Even with Boone, even with Cashman, I want them to hold that trophy up, re-sign them. I'll be happy. I have no issue with that. But I do have a very, very strong concern with those three moving forward with this organization. Again, this is the season. If you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. You look at the rest of the American League. If the Yankees don't get to the World Series this year, fucking everybody should be fired. Boone should, I don't care if it's ALC. They should all be fired. There shouldn't be, we got close. This is the year. If it's not this year, it's time to make the change. It's really that simple. And I hate giving, spoilers away, but that's one of the big things I want to discuss on Mondays, nights at the roundtable. If this team doesn't make it to the World Series, I'm no longer saying ALCS and you bring them back. No. This is World Series or bust this year. You don't get to the final stage, everybody needs to fucking go. You got to reset, restart, put a new philosophy in here. Because if they don't do it this year, that's it, man. I'm tired of maybe next year. Maybe Soto comes back and we get that other bat. Maybe this happens. Maybe Weaver's the closer all year. And cut the shit. If they don't do it this year, dump them all in the fucking river somewhere.
Yeah, and it's a situation where Cole and Judge, two of your superstar players, high-paid players, are getting towards their mid-30s, where usually your best baseball is behind you unless you're on steroids. But I mean, Cole's going to be what, 34, 35 here soon?
Yeah.
Judge is in his early, I think, what, 32?
32? I mean, he's going to be 33.
He's a big body dude who's going to be pushing his mid to late 30s in a couple of years. You've got an opportunity now with the way the roster's set up and the way the American League is looking a little bit not so hot to make a run. This is it right here. So if things don't go right this year, it's going to be really tough to find a year when things are going to go right because you've got some young teams. I mean, a lot of things have gone the Yankees' way this year, including the fact that the Orioles have played so poorly down the stretch. I mean, the Orioles, a lot of the reason why a lot of us picked the Orioles to win the division again is because they won 100 plus games last season. And we felt that the team was still pretty good to the point where they can still push 100 wins. Right. I didn't think the Yankees could push 100 wins. They're currently at 92 and they've got a few more to go. So we were right on that.
Matter of fact, I had them winning 93 wins this year in
the Yankees,
our first show.
I think I was
had them winning
93 or 94. But so, I mean, we were pretty close. But I mean, it took them having to get Jazz. It took them having to bring up Dominguez and play some more over Verdugo. It took them having to stop platooning Wells and Trevino. It took them having to take Clay Holmes out of the closer spot for this team to right the ship after playing 500 ball for a couple months and look like a competent team going into the playoff run. So there were changes that had to be made. I mean, this team as on opening day, if it would have gone the rest of the way how it was, 88 wins, maybe 90. I mean, things were not good for a while, even with the additions we made. So we're very fortunate to be in a position where we're going to probably, well, not probably, we are going to win the division. But I mean, you look at Kev Boogie just said right now, we got Eflin next, then we got Corbin Burns. Then when you face the Pirates, you got Jones, who's a great young pitcher with filthy stuff throwing close to a hundo. And then you got Paul Skeens.
Yep.
I mean, that's a 4 or 5 game stretch there where, man, if the offense didn't click today, there's not many more opportunities the rest of the way to get some good feels in the bats. So you're going to have to jump on Eflin. I mean, he doesn't have overwhelming stuff, but he's got that sinker. He's got the slider. He's got the cutter. You got to jump on him. So they got to find a way to get some confidence offensively here and string some things together because, I mean, you don't want to go into a week break hitting poorly. Then you sit for a week.
You got to have a couple of breaks.
Then you got to roll out of bed and flip the switch day one in the ALDS. That's not easy to do. Ask anyone who's faced high velocity pitching before. You can't just roll. Even when you're facing your teammates, the intensity is not the same. The urgency is not the same. The results that happen after that aren't going to be all over Twitter after that at practice. So the urgency just isn't there. Sure, you're getting reps, sure you're seeing pitches, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, if they don't get in the groove heading into the ALDS, I'm concerned, 100%.
Johnny, you're going to like this. As I'm going to like this, too. No. This is Aaron Judge's comments on Gleyber Torres. Take a listen.
Oh, no.
Like in that 7th inning, you guys were rallying. You were on the on-deck circle. Juan Soto has the hit. Just were you surprised to see Gleyber get thrown out there in that situation?
Yeah, it might have been just a little miscommunication, but, you know, he was hustling the whole way, and I think he wanted to score, and, you know, he got the stop sign, and just kind of no man's land right there. So it's, you know, when it comes down to it, stuff like that can't happen. You know, can't keep shooting ourselves in the foot with mistakes like that on the base path, but, you know, it happens, and we got to move on and get ready for tomorrow.
It's nice to see him. I that's the loudest it could get, guys. I apologize. I tried to bring everything up. I couldn't get it any louder than that. But the beginning part, it looked like he was going for bullshit.
Yep.
Which scared me.
I thought so too. Yep.
And then he finished it off with, when it comes down to it, stuff like that can't happen. To me, that's the way you start. Forget the other fluff.
Can't keep shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yeah,
that's
forget
huge.
the other fluff, though. Keep the fluff out. Like, in that situation there, it's as clear as this. Can't happen. Just like what he said right there. When it comes down to it, stuff like this can't happen. Can't keep shooting ourselves in the foot with mistakes like that in the base paths. That's it. Just leave it at that. You don't got to have the other extra fluff. Just put it like it is. You guys are going into the postseason. Shit like that can't happen, or you're not going to win dick, and that's it.
And a problem with this team base running wise is if you don't coach it out during spring training, you go the rest of the season pretty much not ever practicing base running or situational base running, because you play so many games, and on the off days you're traveling. And then when you get to stadiums, you're not gathering everyone on the infield and running scenarios and going through all that different stuff. So this is spring training stuff that has to be ironed out by the coaching staff. It needs to be every day for that month of spring training. Get the situational stuff figured out and stay on these guys about it throughout the season. I mean, this is just stuff that can't happen, and it's hard to practice it during the season because the schedule is so tough for these guys. So plus they're pros. These guys have egos. These guys don't want to go through the motions on Little League stuff. That's why a lot of them don't love spring training. But if it keeps happening on the field during games, you gotta coach it out. You gotta go over scenarios. You gotta, if your third base coach gives you a stop sign and the play's at second, you see him say, "Why are you off third base, Gleyber Torres? What are you doing off the bag?
Why are you even?
Get your ass on the bag, bro. What are you doing?
You gotta be standing on that bag, and you don't fucking move. This is not some crazy thing right here. This is pretty clear as day. And here's Gleyber's answer, by the way. Let's see. Here it is. This is from Greg Joyce. Gleyber Torres said he was trying to protect Soto by breaking for home. Said he needs to be more aggressive there if he's going to go. No, you just sit there and shut the fuck up. That's what you do. You sit there and stay there. That is the stupidest. You could be more aggressive. For what? Where's the aggressiveness there? You just, what do you mean? You run through the stop sign? The stop sign was up, meaning you stay where you are. Soto was safe at second base by a mile.
Yeah, the play at second has nothing to do with Gleyber at third. I understand him maybe thinking that him coming off of third is going to make the infielder come off of second base and catch the ball coming forward to try and make a throw at the plate. But the runner at third is more valuable in that situation than the runner at second. So if the throw's going to second, maybe you can take a couple hops. Infielder catches the ball at second, you're back to third. Dive back, get back quick, and stay there, bro. Like, eye on the ball, watch the play that's happening, and you can't come that far off third base. Because what if Soto is out? And then they throw it to third and it gets your ass out too.
He was so far down the line, mind you. They threw home.
Yeah.
That's how far off the bag he was. Yeah. Think about this. While that ball is being thrown into second base, he's so far down the line already that they threw the ball home. They didn't try to throw it at third to get him out. They threw it home. That's how far down. They knew he had a run down. It's just, again, for him to even make
inexcusable
excuses there,
bad.
It's inexcusable. Sit there and look and go, that cannot happen. That is all on me. I take full blame. I've done this often this year. It can't happen. It can't, I feel like I cost us the game today. That's what I would say. And then you move on.
I mean, you're running the third. You pick up your third base coach. Turn around. Where's the ball? Soto's going to second. The throw goes down to second. You're reading the infielder. Infielder catches it. He's safe. You get back to third base. Why, bro? Why are you off the bag? Why are you so far off the bag? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. And even if Soto's thrown out at second, so what? You got to stay on third to give the next guy a chance to drive you in.
Exactly.
I mean, you can't lose both base runners. You can't risk both base runners being out. You can't get that far off the bag. This is the major leagues, bro. They're going to throw you out.
Worse, Johnny, there's 2 outs there.
Ugh.
So then what are you doing? Why are you anywhere off the bag there? You just stay where you are. Let's get to one more voicemail, guys. We're going to wrap up today.
Hey, Pete, it's Matt. Listen, buddy. This game was lost when Gleyber Torres made that base running mistake. So, unfortunately, tonight, I have to put it on him. Although he's done good things, you know, he fucked up there and look what happened. All right, I'll see you guys on the post game. Take care, guys. I love you, and see you on the post game.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you, my guy. And
I didn't realize it was 2 outs, so obviously you can't get Soto out and Gleyber. So they're not going to get 2 outs when they're going to get 2 outs. But you can't, even with 2 outs, you can, as the runner on third. That's another rule. You don't make the first or third out at third base ever. Ever.
That's
you
right.
got to know how important a base runner you are at third base. You cannot come that far off the bag. Awful instincts, no matter what the explanation is. You just can't do that in that situation. And I hope they reamed his ass tonight and really, really made him understand that we got a window here to do something special. If you fuck it up by doing this stuff, it's gonna come down like a pile of shit on you, and you're not coming back here, and your teammates are gonna be very thrilled with you along with the fans, buddy. So figure this shit out.
I wanted to wrap up here, but I just remember this, and I want to talk about this. And really quick before I get to my topic, do you think Clark Schmidt showed you anything today that he should start? He should have the third game. I still got Louis Hill.
Yeah, I think he showed us today that Louis Hill is the third starter in the playoffs.
I agree.
He struck out a lot of batters, but I mean, just looked too hittable at times, and you can't substitute Louis Hill's stuff and Louis Hill's upside in a start like that for Clark, who can be a little hittable sometimes. So I think Louis Hill is for sure penciled into that third spot in the LDS.
And the last thing I want to talk about is the propaganda going on at the Yes Network. Michael Kay said today that Jason Dominguez struggled on the road trip.
Yeah.
There was nothing about this propaganda. I've never seen a team make extra effort to shit on their top prospect in just about every single way they can when Anthony Volpe was seen as another god. He was seen as Jesus reincarnated coming to the New York Yankees. Jason Dominguez, let me tell you something about the talent level of these two. I'd bet just about any dollar I got that Dominguez is going to be a more impactful player if he plays all year than Anthony Volpe is. And there's no reason for me to compare Volpe in this. I apologize for that.
No, there is a reason. There is a reason
I guess
because
there is. You're right, because how they're treating him.
Volpe gets unlimited run. Why can't Dominguez get unlimited run?
No, you're 100% right. Michael Kay, in that regard, I don't know what the Yes Network is thinking, that they feel it makes sense to try to coerce the fans into this bullshit belief that your eyes deceive you and that Alex Verdugo should be playing over their top prospect, which, mind you, they are the only team in baseball that would do this. The New York Yankees, they're the only team that would do something like this. Jason Dominguez, I watched the Oakland series. He was smacking the baseball. The outs he even made were bullets.
Right.
And they're sitting there acting like Alex Verdugo's a better player, like we haven't seen him over the last 3 months.
Yeah, and
it's bullshit.
When they were talking about that segment, you could kind of be like, oh, okay, here we go. The Yankees propaganda machine, the Yes Network propaganda machine. But they were talking about how the defense and you can't risk putting them out there, blah, 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 and all this stuff. But it was good that Cone and O'Neill did comment, well, it was a tough sun out there. All the outfielders were having trouble. They were day games. So that there was a little bit of backing up done by Cone and O'Neill, thankfully, because they're players. The players understand. Media personnel and people who haven't been out on the field, people that haven't put a glove on and wore some sunglasses and stared into the sun while you're trying to catch a fly ball, they don't understand what happened on those plays.
I think Rosarino also lost the ball in the same game almost.
Yeah, and I mean, Verdugo, he's been a little bit better this year defensively than some of the plays we've seen Dominguez struggle on, but I don't think Dominguez is that bad of a defender. And the more innings he logs in left field and the more fly balls he gets and the more he can learn the dimensions at Yankee Stadium in left field, he's going to be better for it. He's a better athlete. He's got a better arm, even though he had Tommy John. People, for some reason, that game where he had the pump fake, I think it was against the Tigers in that weird Little League game or whatever. People think because of that pump fake or something that he has no arm. I was like, have you seen him make throws? He has a great arm. Like, what are you talking about? So he's got speed. He has pretty good routes. He's played center field. He's got a good arm. This is not Willie Calhoun playing left field here. This is a guy who has potential to be a good defender, but he needs reps. He's young.
Yep.
Get him out there and use this last part of the regular season to get him out there, get accustomed to the left field at Yankee Stadium, get more reps, build his confidence on defense, and get him more at bats because he's going to be a more valuable player down the stretch. The fact that they don't do that is mind-numbing, mind-boggling, and it's just another reason why people like us and many fans on social media cannot stand the leadership group for the New York Yankees.
And on top of that, Michael Kay, for his bad, horrible play, right, that he was so bad in the road trip, over his last 7 games, he's only slugging .571. So you could shove that up your fucking ass to know what the hell you're talking about when you talk about it. To sit there and defend Alex Verdugo, I think he has 1 home run like over the last 3 months. Whatever the hell it is something sloppy. The guy's slugging percentage over his last 7 games is .571. Jason Dominguez. That means he's hitting the ball hard, all over the place.
And a good point from Corin here in the chat. Literally every other team would be playing their top prospect every day.
No, I always
and
say
Verdugo will be right in
nobody
the bench.
would do this. Nobody
it's
would
true.
do this.
Look what the Rangers, we keep bringing it up, but look what the Rangers did last year with Evan Carter, a 21-year-old young left-handed hitter who had an unbelievable postseason offensively. Yep. Jason Dominguez can be the same thing for this team. Absolutely. But for some reason, they have this, whether it's Cashman's ego not wanting to give up on an acquisition he made, or Verdugo being Judge's guy, or Boone liking Verdugo and not wanting to hurt his feelings, whatever the reason may be, that continues to get Verdugo at bats and playing time over Dominguez, it makes no sense and is not worth it because there's no upside in Verdugo somehow finding something that he hasn't had all season. Dominguez showed you just on this road trip, even though he had a couple of mishaps, the power, the ability to go the other way, the ability to split a gap on a double, the ability to base run. I mean, he's shown so much more offensively and has shown so much more upside in just a small sample size compared to Verdugo all season. The fact they're not giving him unlimited run every day like Volpe is criminal, absolutely criminal.
And also the other thing is that this illusion that Verdugo's playing better, he's not. His last 15 games, he has a .275 slugging. He's hitting 216 over his last 51 at-bats.
Yeah.
You could go his last 30 games, 106 at-bats. He's slugging 292 and hitting 217.
Yeah, he's
so
been one of the
this
worst.
idea that all of a sudden he's, hitting well, so we got to get him in there, it's bullshit. He's a defensive replacement. That's what he is.
Right. And left field traditionally has been a spot where you stick a guy who's maybe not a great defender. Not saying that Dominguez can't be a great defender, but even if you're having a little bit of concerns, this is the same New York Yankees team that had Willie Calhoun playing left field. Miguel Andujar was playing left field. There have been bad players that they've stuck in left field and just hope they hit.
Cordero, Jake Bowers.
They have shown in the past that they're willing to put a bat in the lineup that can be a somewhat not great defender in left field, and then you just cross your fingers that they hit enough. Do it now with Dominguez. I just don't understand the blind loyalty to Alex Verdugo. It's got to have something to do with his clubhouse personality or Cashman not wanting to give up on a guy he acquired or something. There's got to be another reason.
Let's see if it costs them the World Series potentially this year, or a big game in a big moment or something like that. So we'll see, but
hopefully not.
That'll wrap us up today, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Went about 45 minutes on the post game. Again, thank you guys so much for hanging with us. I think we are also closing in on 34,800, I believe. We are only 7 subbies away from 34,800 as we are trying to get to 35K before postseason play begins, and I got a good feeling that we will do that. But again, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Johnny, any last words? We'll wrap up here.
It's just they need to play better tomorrow, and they got to hit some good pitching in the next couple of days. The division, I believe, is already a wrap for us, but you got to get some things figured out before the playoffs start, before you sit for a week. So we'll see what happens.
Facts. All right, guys. Until next time, catch you guys mañana. Peace out, baby.
Top 10 radar, yeah, we on your radar. Never miss, dog, and that's on occasion. Yeah, we on your radar. Yeah. Hey, look, top floor, lifestyle, chef and boy, I'm cooking up. Way too high, ain't coming down, you see me if you looking up. I don't really talk too much, so I'm running numbers up. Lucky that I'm strolling up, I'm going off, they know what's up. Wrist too silly, yeah, numbers crack the billy. Yeah, don't need no dilly, I'm too fresh, I feel like really, yeah. Feel the duffels up the sign, I need a million. I'm about to take off, and I know that I'm on their radar. Top 10.